Hello, I am Nathan, and this is Love is Strange. I saw this morning, and I had to do a video. I'm tired, I'm hungover. I was up to about 2 in the morning. I'm recording it at about 11. So, this is a dating visual novel based on Life is Strange. So how could I resist? I've not played this yet. This is the first time, apart from a couple of a test video to make sure things are okay, that I've played this. So yeah, let's see. Do you want to play the tutorial? Sure. Hello, I'm MX Star, your guide and teacher. First things first, I'll tell you that you can click anywhere or press enter or space. Yep. Love is Strange is a visual novel, meaning you'll be. Yep. I'm not sure I've had a visual novel with a tutorial before. Yep. Yep. Okay. Your decisions can affect the way the other characters in the game interact with you. The characters in each route have a number of approval points which you can earn or fail to earn from the choices you make. The higher your approval, the better. But you won't be able to see any of these points change. You won't see any of these point changes visually, so pick wisely. Yep. There's no time travel here. Yes, because you don't play as Max in this game. That sounds great. Yep. Yep. That's all fine. Be sure to keep up with your journal. Okay. Gallery in the main menu. Yep. So, yeah, basically it's a visual novel. Yep. Right, there we go. Yep. Let's get up. We'll be proactive. I guess I'd better get up. The air is a little chilly as I push the covers off, and one glance in my mirror is enough to tell me that I look like a total zombie. In other words, it's a typical morning for me. Someone's playing music. The people I share a dormitory with are worse than roosters. Oh well, at least I'm up. And I shouldn't make it a habit to be late to class anyway. I stretch out yawning, as I make my way to the window to feel the sunlight on my skin. Lisa seems to be enjoying it too. She's grown like crazy over the past year. My mum would be so proud. Wow, a whole year already. It's hard to believe that I've been at Blackwell for that long. I'm so glad that I came back to Arcadia Bay, and not just for Blackwell Academy, although I'd be lying if I said that wasn't a huge part. I liked Seattle, but never really felt like home. Arcadia Bay is the place I grew up in. The place where I made all of my best memories and had so many adventures. Each one is different as every new day. Pirates and superheroes. This was the best place to grow up. I assume this is both before the terrible events of Life is Strange. Well, I'm biased, but I really do feel that way. I don't want to sell Seattle short, of course. I lived there for 5 long years. I really do miss my friends there and my parents. I was so glad to see them this summer. But I know that coming back here was the right choice for me. I'm technically an adult now, which is something I'm still getting used to. You know, we all... I definitely still feel like a kid in a lot of ways. I'm lucky to have my parents' support and my scholarship. Oh, you do play as Max, okay. Which I've somehow managed to keep into my 2nd year. Go Max. I thought this intro sounded a lot like Max's roots. I can't forget one of the most important parts. Blackwell's brought me back to Chloe Price, my best friend. It took a little while, but we picked up right where we left off. So this is like an alternate reality Life is Strange. Actually, we did it even better because we didn't exactly part under the best circumstances. But the greatest thing about Chloe is that she's brutally honest with her feelings. Those first few weeks were seriously awkward, but we got through it. I'm determined to be there for her now, even if I couldn't before. Luckily, someone was there for Chloe whilst I was gone. Rachel Amber. She's totally gorgeous. She's got a really great person too. She's almost too perfect. But she's one of those girls that's just impossible to hate, even though Victoria Chase seems to have found her way. At first I thought that Rachel and Chloe were total opposites, but they're really more like wolves of the same pack. Let's just say that knowing both of them is like being an accessory to every incident of dubiously criminal mischief in the Bay. But even if I didn't have Chloe and Rachel, I've got other friends here too. Dana, Stella, Alyssa. Actually, I can count almost anyone on my floor as a friend. Even Brooke, who is abrasive, took some getting used to, but it's just her way of being friendly. Pretty impressive for a shy geek like me, am I right? I wonder if there's a line about Final Fantasy the spirits within in this game. Take Kate Marsh for example. She's one of the very first people who befriended me at Blackwell. Kate is probably the most kind-hearted person I've ever met, and she's an incredibly talented artist. She's one of the only students at Blackwell that unabashedly wears her heart, or I guess her religion, on her sleeve. I know that she gets flack about it sometimes, but I think it's really cool that she works so hard to create a comfortable environment for other religious and or abstinent students, even if I'm not in her Bible study group or anything. I get along with almost everybody, except for my neighbours across the hall. Victoria Chase is the head of the Vortex Club, with all that reputation that goes with it. I should just say, if you haven't played Life is Strange, there's probably going to be spoilers of some sort here, and also, play Life is Strange, it's amazing. It's so good. Even after a year, I'm not entirely sure what the Vortex Club even does, aside from underage drinking. I've heard that being in it is good for your resume, but I've never seen them doing anything to actually improve or benefit the school outside of partying. Oh well, it's not really my place to judge, even though Victoria herself does a lot of judging. Hasn't she heard about the old adage about not saying anything at all if you've got nothing nice to say? It's not hard to wither under the Ice Queen stares of hers, or feel totally lame in the presence of her $6,000 camera. She has a great eye though, I'll give her that. I can't spend all morning daydreaming by the window though, I've got to get dressed. I don't want to miss my first class. Especially because... was it MX Dog? Told us last week that they had a surprise coming up on Monday. I wonder what it will be. They're one of the best teachers I've ever had. They've always been supportive of my work and always smiling. I know Blackwell Academy took on the best of the best, but I had to experience it to believe it. MX Dog is so freaking cool. I better hurry up and get going, then maybe I can find some time to hang out with my friends before class starts. Yeah, we want to start meeting people and make some decisions. This feels a lot more fleshed out than, was it Dating on the Citadel? Speed Dating on the Citadel, that's a game I played. There's a video up on Gamerscape if you want to check that out. That's a Mass Effect themed dating game where you can date a Hannah. What was it? And oh, it's been such a long time since I played the Mass Effect game, the Blue Aliens. I have a feeling that Chloe and Rachel are going to laugh at my generic brand t-shirts and jeans like they always do, but I've come to terms with my style. I'm just having flashbacks of scenes in Life is Strange. I should make sure I have everything I need before I head out. Put on bracelets, put on bag, check phone. I can't leave my room without a quick scan at my feed, the modern equivalent of reading the morning newspaper. That's the millennial condition, I suppose. Blah, blah, blah. Of course, Victoria's already posted her morning mirror selfie. Liked by 28 people, posted 5 minutes ago. But she does look really nice in that cashmere sweater. I'd hit like too, but I know she's not interested in my approval. Oh, we don't even get a choice? Nerd cooties. Heh. I'm kidding, I think. I need to stop sinking to her level and being all judgy. It's from bracelets. Chloe gave me one of her punky spike bracelets a few months ago. I'm clumsy, so I thought I'd instantly take my eye out by wearing it. But it turns out that the secret to thrashing is that all the studs are actually pretty dull. I guess I really am ready for the mosh pit now. Yeah, that was one of the scenes I was just thinking of. The bracelet that I slide on next to it is all woven rainbow threads. Rachel gave it to me. I was pretty surprised when she did. Rachel's got like a zillion friends. Maybe she makes them for everybody. So these weren't really choices, it was just an order. Can't forget my bag. I don't want to forget my camera either. I'm glad it's managed to survive this long. It's really old and not in a cute, faux vintage way. It's legit ancient. But that's what I wanted, a total timelessness to my photos. As I slide my camera into my bag, I look at the little dough pin that Kate gave me a few days ago. It's a warm bronze colour. She said that she found it in a bookshop in Portland and she thought that I would like it. I do, but I'm just flattered that she thinks of me at all. I think I've got everything, but I've got a feeling I'm forgetting something. Oh, my journal. Can't live without it. I take it just about everywhere. I guess it's a little old-fashioned to me, and I know that getting a blog would just be way more secure, but I'm used to writing by hand. Oh, it's hard. I've not been up very long this morning. It's hard to talk out loud. Ugh. As I head out into the hallway, I finally spot the source of the music. It's all coming from Dana's room. The door's wide open like it usually is. There's definitely way too much bass for a Monday morning. I cross the hall shaking my head. I knock on Kate's doors, but there's no response. Maybe she's already headed to class. I'm a little sad I missed out on her usual morning violin playing. Not that I would have heard much of it over Dana's music. Dana? It doesn't surprise me that I can smell weed and hear the sound of a spray can drifting from the bathroom. Rachel and Chloe up to no good. What's Chloe doing here? But I guess that's the company I keep. Victoria's usually got a door open up, music playing like Dana. Dana? I can't. But it's quiet this morning. I guess she went to class early too. I've never seen her show up late to anything. Oh, the places you'll go, Max. Where to now? Should we investigate the weed and the spray can? When I reach the bathroom, I find Chloe smoking in the corner, slouching there with a joint pinched between her fingers. Rachel's busy adding graffiti to the opposite wall. Let's talk to Chloe. Having fun, Chloe? That's pretty cool art. Chloe grins at me, giving her usual up-to-no-good look. Yeah, I'm totally getting lit over here. I can't do the voices. I'm not going to do the voices. I groan, and Chloe just bursts out laughing amid a cloud of sharp smoke. You're terrible, you know that? And you love it. But what's up? I'm pretty sure you didn't come over here for a hit. Can I lean against the wall next to Chloe, nudging her with my elbow. I'm not a fan of how weed smells, but I've gotten used to it being around by now. It seems to chill Chloe out, and I'm all for anything that keeps her happy. Just wanted to see what my best friend's up to early in the morning. And to ask what you think of MX Dog's surprise today. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, I don't know. I can't figure out what it could be. Chloe shrugs, taking another drag. When she breathes out, the smoke twists and turns in the air before dissipating under the fluorescent lights. It makes me want to take a picture. Go on then. Chloe laughs. I know that look. You want to take a photo, huh, hipster? 5 years apart or not, Chloe still knows me so well. She proves it all the time. I could take 1,000 photos of Chloe and never get tired of her face. Is it that obvious? Chloe smirks at me and bumps the toe of her boot into my sneaker before sucking back on the joint again and exhaling through her nose. Save your photos for dogs, class, Max. As for whatever the surprise is, I don't know. I'm just glad we made it into the same class this semester. Just like when we were in elementary school, huh? I grin. Chloe may look all punk rock on the outside now, but I know on the inside she's still the girl that I used to watch anime with and play pirates with. My crazy, rebellious, amazing friend. She didn't have the blue hair when we were little, but she's always had a wild heart. I'm glad we're together too. Chloe smiles at me. Anyway, I want to be good and buzzed by the time class starts. So why is Chloe here? She doesn't go to this. To Blackwell. To finish this thing, I'll catch you later, Super Max. It's weird. It's like referencing bits that happen in Life is Strange, but it's set like as if Life is Strange didn't happen apart from Max moving back. Let's talk to Rachel. This is unusual. Rachel looks up and smiles at me. It's warm, but as usual, it's a little intimidating. There's something about Rachel that makes me feel kind of shy. She can be hard to read. Hey, how's it hanging, Max? I could ask you the same thing. So what's she spray painting? The paint is bright gold, dripping down from the wall of a tangle of letters. I can't quite tell what it says. I'm leaving my mark on this school, which is still totally against the rules. Since when have the rules ever applied to me? She laughs at her own joke, which makes me twitch into a smile too, before I have to tilt my head away from the fumes, eyes watering. You headed to class soon? Yeah, but let me guess, you're wondering what dog's going to surprise us with today. That's another thing about Rachel, she's always on the ball and knows what's going on with everyone and everything. Thinks she might be omniscient. Yeah. Rachel laughs, twirling her paint can in her hand. Her fingers are nimble and light against its smooth surface. I bet it was another photo contest. I'm sure you'll win it, Max. She and Chloe have been so supportive of me. Their praise can be a little overwhelming sometimes, but I know they really mean it. Chloe I get, but Rachel, we're not that close. So it means a lot that she's so encouraging. Anyway, even if I don't entirely get what's in it for her. Rachel is honestly kind of a mystery to me, one that I've yet to figure out even a year in. I wonder if Chloe's got the puzzle solved. I've always been too shy to ask much about their friendship, but they're as thick as thieves. Thanks, Rachel. I hope so. Don't worry about it. Anyway, I want to finish this up if it's cool with you. I'll see you in class. Rachel gives a little toss of her hair before focusing back on the wall. I want to be on time, but I feel like let's go straight to class. If I go straight to class, I won't be able to go back and talk to Kate, Rachel, Victoria, Chloe. Okay. Then I guess Chloe, Victoria and Kate are here. I head outside the dorms and see Kate sitting on a bench out the front lawn. Sketchbook in hand. Up ahead I see Victoria focused on a bulletin board. I guess I do have time to chat. We'll leave Victoria to last because that's not going to be a fun conversation, I imagine. Hey, Kate. Kate looks up from her sketchbook and gives me a warm smile. Good morning, Max. It's good to see you. I'm happy to see her too. Come to think of it, Kate's been a little hard to get a hold of lately. She seemed a lot quieter than usual. She's not the loudest person to begin with, but maybe she has something on her mind. Whatever it is, it doesn't stop her from greeting me as warmly as ever. That's Kate Marsh for you. I missed your violin playing this morning. Not that I would have heard much of it over Dana's music. I sit down next to Kate on the bench and see that she's sketching a few cartoon characters gathered from around a fountain. Kate notices me looking and smiles softly, pencil tapping idly against the paper. I thought I'd try to get some drawing in before class starts. When I'm feeling inspired, I always want to sketch right away so I don't forget the images in my head. I look more closely at the page. Kate's drawings are always so cute and lively. She'd make an awesome character designer or storyboarder or an illustrator for a children's book. Any one of those would suit her. I know what you mean. I'll drop everything I'm doing if the time is right for a photo. I can't believe you do this kind of stuff with just coloured pencils. It is so cute. Thanks, Max. I've always loved your photos too. So this is all nice so far. We've had no other. I guess we're about to talk to Victoria, so things are probably going to go downhill. Kate's compliments always warm my heart. The best part is that I know that she means it. She's so sincere and positive. Speaking of photos, what do you think MX Dogs is going to surprise us with today? Kate's expression turns thoughtful and she clasps her hands on the top of her sketchbook. I'm not sure. They seemed really excited about it when I was helping them catalogue our photography textbooks on Friday. I'd forgotten that Kate is MX Dog's assistant. Did they mention anything about the surprise, other than being excited? Kate laughs and shrugs, and she seems to glow. The cross hanging from her neck catches the sunlight and flashes bright and golden. You're always so curious about the world, Max. A lot of people would just say I'm nosy. Kate gives a little huff and continues drawing in her sketchbook, her pencils delicately tracing curves and lines. I think you just have a knack for adventure. Like Gloria here, she's an amateur detective. Kate points to one of her characters in the drawing, a small figure peering into the fountain with huge, inquisitive eyes. A little cat tail pokes out from under the character's long coat. Thanks, Kate. I'm glad you believe in me. I should get going, though. Kate nods. I wouldn't want you to miss the surprise. I'll catch up soon. Right. Alright, let's talk to Victoria. See, Victoria, by the end of Life is Strange, actually liked me, and we got on okay. Victoria looks so focused on the message board. She's got her arms crossed like she's annoyed by what she's reading, but I'm not sure what it is she's looking at. I scan my eyes over the board. There are flyers for club meetings, another plea about Cat Pic's tablet, and some stuff about global warming. The average Blackwell marquee. I really can't talk this morning. I don't usually go out of my way to talk to Victoria, but she might be the only other person who takes my photography class as serious as I do. It might be good to scope out what she thinks about today's surprise. Hey, Victoria. Victoria turns around, and for a split second I see surprise in her face before it's replaced with a stern look. What do you want, Max? Her tone isn't totally hostile today. I guess that's something at least. Just wanted to say good morning, if that's okay. Victoria snorts and rolls her eyes. I wouldn't call it a good morning as long as you're around. Wait, seriously? I throw my hands up in defence, giving a huff of exasperation. I can't catch a break with Victoria, can I? I want some dialogue options. Wow, nice burn. Let me go to the nurse and get myself an ice pack. Victoria crosses her arms with an impatient sigh and then gestures with her fingers. Really? What do you want? I glance back to the bulletin board and see a small flyer in the corner. It's an advertisement for a photography exhibition in Portland. I think I found what Victoria was looking at. Just wondering what you think MX Dogs got prepared for us today. You know, the surprise they mentioned last week. Victoria purses her lips and looks away for a second before turning to me. I heard a rumour that there's another photo contest, like last year. She sounds kind of tense about it. I suddenly remember how she'd placed second in the photo contest last year. She hadn't been happy about it at all. I know she'd busted her ass on it. Even if I have to admit that her submission was really good, I totally thought she'd win. I have a feeling she took losing a lot harder than she'd let on. If it is, good luck, Victoria. That definitely wasn't the response Victoria was expecting. Her eyes widen, her mouth dropping open for a split second, before she recovers. She's not scowling at me anymore, at least. Yeah, you too, Max. Oh, I wasn't expecting that either. We stand there for another moment. Neither of us seem to know what to say. Awkward. Victoria makes an irritated sound, finally breaking the silence. Look, I've got to get back to figuring out my schedule for the week. Club meetings and shit. I'm pretty sure that wasn't what she was doing, but I'm not about to call her out again. I want to call her out on it. Let me. It'll be fun. Yeah, of course. I'll see you in class. She turns back to the bulletin board. Well, that could definitely have gone a lot worse. As far as encounters with Victoria Chase goes, that was practically painless. Right, now we're going to class. Once I enter the classroom, I head back to the back and sit down in my usual seat. Contrary to what Chloe would have you believe, I don't sit back here to slack off, like she does. I sit back here because it's centred right whereby MX Dog usually lectures. Speaking of Chloe, I can see her sauntering in with Rachel. She grabs a couple of chairs and drags them noisily across the tile so she and Rachel can sit with me. Chloe looks like she's already prepared to nap all the way through class. Typical. Rachel, on the other hand, she's got top marks even though she's more into being in photos, not taking them. She's already got her textbook open and she's running a paint-stained finger down the page. Victoria walks in just a moment later with Taylor at her side. She glances at me and immediately looks away when she catches me looking back. Is this the... That's cool. It's kind of like a slightly more basic version of the journal that Max keeps throughout Life is Strange. Damn, does the Vortex Hub ever face consequences for anything? There's lots here. What's that? No. Her lips are pressed together in a hard line as Taylor chatters in her ear, because she's not in a gossipy mood today. Kate's seat is over by the window. She mouths hello to me as she takes her spot, organising her books into a neat pile. I don't know what's going on there. Why is my professor a sausage? Good morning, class. What a lovely Monday morning. There's a few grumbles here and there. Chloe's is the loudest. As you all know, I told you last week I had a big surprise coming today. Well, the day has come for me to announce the second annual Blackwell Photo Contest. It's not much of a surprise if it's directly a year after the first one. Like, we all guessed it. I can feel butterflies literally explode in my stomach. Literally. Oof. Next to me, Chloe and Rachel shoot me looks. Called it. Victoria stiffens in her seat and sits up a little straighter. Kate smiles, of course. She's as bright as the spot of sun she's sitting in. Now, the contest here will be a little different from last year's. You have to pick a partner, because the contest motive is the bonds between people. This doesn't mean you both have to be in the photo, although that's not against the rules. The photo can be of anything. Your bond will be expressed by working together. I want to see all kinds of photos represented. I encourage all of you to enter. At the end of the week, each pair will submit their photo. Of course, I'll be judging to pick the winner. I wonder if we get to choose our partner in this. As for the prize, the winner will have their photo displayed in the front entrance to the main building and a feature in the Blackwell totem. We only have until Friday? Shit. If I wind up entering, I'm going to have to start thinking about it right away. Who am I kidding? Of course I'm going to enter. McStog turns to survey the class, hands on their hips. One thing you should keep in mind, be certain of who you choose for a partner, because you can't change once you picked. You will both need to work together to create your photo. No cooperation, no entry. I'm starting to feel a little bit nervous about this whole thing. Sure, I've been taking photos for as long as I can remember, but I've never collaborated with someone else like this before. If you plan to enter, I need you to pick your partners before the end of today's class so that I can add your names to the registration sheet. Double shit. I have no idea who to ask and almost no time to make up my mind. Fidgeting nervously, I glance around the classroom and I can always see people murmuring to one another about their plans. Chloe, who's half asleep, raises her eyebrows at me when I meet her gaze. I guess she wasn't so zoned out that she wasn't listening. Rachel winks when I look at her, and I think about how much practice she's had for posing in photos. Everyone knows that she wants to be a model. Kate waves her fingers at me, smiling encouragingly. She doesn't have to say anything for me to know that she thinks I should enter. Victoria. She stiffens a little, but she doesn't look away immediately this time. She holds my gaze. I'm not sure if she's issuing a challenge. The choice is mine. I could ask anyone. Nothing stopping me but my own shyness. The worst that could happen is that I'll be turned down, which honestly seems completely mortifying. If I'm going to be real here, but I'll be even more disappointed with myself if I don't enter at all. Okay, so it could be quite interesting with Victoria because you'd have to pair up, get over their differences, and still create a photo. And it doesn't have to be like a positive bond between people. It could be, confrontational. Kate, I don't know. I can't think of a photo that Max and Kate could really do. Rachel, I'm still a bit weirded out by her inclusion in this game from events of Life is Strange. But considering, let's go for Chloe because, in Life is Strange you take lots of photos with Chloe. Are you sure you want to choose Chloe? Sure. Achievement unlocked. Bonus photo unlocked. There's nothing like the tried and true. I know Chloe would be willing to help me. It's practically cheating to ask her. But if the theme is bonds between people, then what better choice than my partner in crime? Hey, Old Faithful. Chloe snorts. That makes me sound something that should be taken out behind a barn and shot. It's a geezer, not a dog. Whatevs. Chloe's mouth twitches. She reaches up under her beanie, knocking it askew as she combs her finger through her hair. Yeah, will you pretty please help me with the contest, dearest Chloe? Her voice is pitched up. She sounds like a mouse. I do not sound like that. Yes. No, I don't. I mean, yes, I'll help you with the contest. You do sound like that. A little. Wait, really? Your voice gets a little... I give her a shove, laughing. No, the context. Do you want to enter? Duh, I finally get to ride the victory train with you. My heart swells. I was sure that Chloe would help, but hearing her say it feels really good. We've always stuck together on everything. At least we did before I had to leave. We were at one another's sides for so many years. Almost all of my best memories have Chloe in them. Sometimes I wish we could go back to those days. But we're still as symbiotic as we ever were. Even if we're pretty different now. Different interests, different styles, but still friends. That's how I know what we have is real. Well, that's if I win. It's not even up for debate. You'll blow it out of the water. Ugh. Excuse me. We're interrupted by McStog's trailing back to the front of the classroom and clearing their throat. Alright. I've got to get into today's lecture. If you haven't picked a partner yet, then be sure you do before the class lets out. I settle back into my seat as the lesson begins. I can barely focus. All I can think about is the contest. When class lets out, it feels like hours later and I leap out of my seat. Chloe takes her time getting up, reaching to scratch herself under her arm. Oh, I think my buzz is already wearing off. School's fault. Nothing's ever your fault. Not at all. I grin. That's my Chloe. So, this contest thing, you're going to help me see another A+ for the first time in like 4 years, right? Chloe, it's a contest, not an assignment. Right, we split the $1 million. I'm not so sure we're going to win $1 million. We split the, what, half mil? Quarter? 10 grand? Chloe, winning is its own reward. Jesus, calm down there, Pollyanna. We can decide what to do with the prize after you win. I'm pretty sure there is no prize. Oh, is the prize not a trip to Portland or something? I'm pretty sure there is no prize, and it would be us winning, not just me. As you say, I'm just here for the victory train, remember? More like the gravy train. What? Gravy. Chloe clutches her stomach dramatically. I already know what to say. Maybe we can go to the 2 whales tomorrow morning. Genius, Max, if I can hold off my cravings for that long. Can you believe Joyce still won't do takeout? Actually, yes, I completely believe that. Well, I'm going to go blaze my way through math class, literally, behind the bleachers. Because I'm not going to math class. Classic. Classic Chloe. My voice is dry, which Chloe picks up on, but doesn't seem to bother her. I'll text you later. I'll be waiting for it. See, normally, like on a visual novel, if I'm doing a video, I'll just skip and go through loads of text to get to some choices, but I don't really want to do it with this one. I mean, it's kind of a little... I thought it would be sillier than this, but it's quite sincere, and you can tell effort's gone into it. I mean, effort's gone into other ones, it's just in a different tone. Chloe cuffs me on the shoulder, and then she grabs her bag and goes to sneak off for a smoke out spot. While I go to Emmett Stock's desk to give them our names for the registration sheet. I'm glad I asked my best friend to be my partner for the contest. Chloe is no photographer, but if it's about bonds, then I think we've got this on lock. I hope. Oh, Tuesday. We'll do a bit more, see where it goes, see if we actually get any choices. Yeah. The breakfast rush at the 2 Wells Diner always takes me by surprise, even though I've been coming here ever since I was a kid. The atmosphere is always electric, the frantic energy of the bustling staff, the impatient, hungry truckers perched at the lunch counter like hulking, churlish birds on a wire, the sleepy locals slumped in their booths over steaming mugs of coffee. I've been here nursing my own coffee for 10 minutes now. This morning, I woke up to a text Chloe sent at 2 AM asking me to meet her at the diner at 8 sharp for breakfast. She's late, of course. I should probably be more annoyed than this, but I'm kind of used to it. Chloe tries, but she's never been able to keep a schedule. It's kind of a miracle she manages to make it to her classes on time most days. I suppose this means that I should be more worried about asking Chloe of all people to help me with my entry for the photo contest, but Chloe's never let me down when I've needed her. Not ever. And she's not starting today. I can't stop the smile that spreads across my face when Chloe enters the diner. She scans the room, panting a little, looking dishevelled. When her eyes light on mine, her face breaks out into a grin of its own, and she makes a beeline towards our booth. Hey, sorry I'm late. She slides into the booth with effortless cool, shooting me her most charming, apologetic smile. You mad? No? No, would be cool. I laugh, shaking my head and taking a sip of my coffee. This is actually pretty punctual for you. I'm impressed. Chloe laughs too, looking visibly relieved. She stumps back into the booth, beaming playfully and knocking her foot against mine beneath the table. I know. Not bad, right? Chloe grins at me like we're kids again, like we're sharing a secret. Even though I've been back in Arcadia Bay for a year now, there's something about being on the receiving end of her smiles again that still kind of takes my breath away. I can tell I'm staring at her with what must be the dopiest look on my face, but I can't help it. Deliberately, I drag my eyes from her face and scan the diner, licking my lips. You hungry? God, yes. Chloe cranes her neck dramatically, looking around the diner. Where is Joyce anyway? I'm going to die of starvation before she even takes my order. Then she'll be childless and you'll be partnerless, and my and my sad, hungry ghost will forever be bound to the 2 whales. Cursed to haunt greasy truckers and painfully slow wait staff for eternity. Not so fast, Casper. Chloe snorts. I kick her lightly beneath the table and continue despite the interruption. Joyce should be out with your food in a minute. It's like flipping a switch. Chloe's face lights up, the previous conversation immediately stricken from her memory. She leans forwards, seizing my hands in hers and dragging them across the table. Max, you've been my best friend since we were kids. My first mate, my partner in crime. And now the girl who buys me breakfast. I'm ready to take the next step. Max, will you do me the great honour of marrying me and buying me food for the rest of our lives? She's been doing this more and more lately, saying things that could just be joking, but could also be, well, flirting. I just can't figure out if Chloe's being deliberately confusing or if I'm such a colossal social dunce that I can't tell the difference. Chloe waggles her eyebrows, squeezing my hands playfully. Max? I laugh awkwardly, feeling a blush rise on my face, and yank my hands out of her grip. Who said I'm buying? Chloe pouts, bottom lip jutting out dramatically. You know, I did just offer to spend the rest of my life with you. The least you could do is offer to pay for my... Wait, what did you get me? Oh god. I can't remember what Chloe likes. She likes pancakes, doesn't she? Oatmeal. I bet she probably wouldn't like that. One short stack coming up. Chloe nods appreciatively, face breaking out into a slow grin. Not bad, Caulfield, not bad. Maybe I should have chosen the top choice. I can't remember. Joyce bustles out of the kitchen a few minutes later, expertly balancing trays loaded with breakfast foods. Chloe smirks mischievously, leaning forwards in the booth, no doubt with something cheerfully antagonistic on the tip of her tongue. But the morning rush is so hectic that Joyce barely has the time to set out our plates down in front of us before tearing off across the restaurant to attend the family of 5 that just filled up the last free booth. Carrie looks briefly disappointed that she lost the opportunity to annoy her mother, at least until she remembers there's food in front of her. Chloe eats with a sort of single-minded ferocity not uncommon in wild dogs. She's got about the same level of manners too, I remember. Thinking of all the time she's stolen food right off my plate and unconsciously hunching over my meal when she looks up and starts eyeing my waffles. You gonna finish that? Yes. Down, girl. I pull my plate closer to my body and wave my fork menacingly in her direction. She's gonna take them anyway, isn't she? Chloe pouts, fixing me with her best puppy dog eyes. No. Worth a shot. Chloe shrugs and leans back into the booth. So, I bet you're pretty pumped to get started on your project, huh? I bite my lip, shifting my gaze from Chloe's eager face to the window facing the street. I watch a few cars pass by, trying to gather my thoughts. I guess I'm excited. But I glance back to Chloe, unable to stop the smile that tugs at the corner of my mouth. She always knows when there's something I'm not saying, but I'm pretty nervous too. I still can't believe I actually volunteered for the contest. I can. Yeah, come on, Max. Chloe says it like it's just a fact. I feel butterflies flutter in my stomach, nervous for a whole other reason now. Confidence has always seemed to come as easy as breathing to Chloe, and I get it. She's tough and beautiful and smarter than she gives herself credit for. That all makes sense. But it's her unwavering confidence in me that I just can't wrap my head around sometimes. Max, you're like the best photographer in school. I know sometimes you'll get all in your head about this shit, but it's really not so complicated. Of course you're going to kill it here. I smile gently back, hearing the hesitance at the end of her sentence. But Chloe smiles bashfully, cheeks flushing just slightly, looking up at me through a fringe of blue hair like a kid with a hand in the cookie jar. But it was kind of surprising you asked me to help with your project. What? Chloe shifts in her seat. The food is gone now. She has nothing to distract from her conversation, so she grabs a packet of sugar from the centre of the table, tearing it open and pouring the contents out in the shapes on the tabletop. Joyce is going to be so pissed. I mean, there are lots of, good photographers in that class, Max. I basically only took photography so I could hang with you and Rachel at school a few times a week. Chloe, you're my best friend, and there's no one else I'd rather have in my corner for stuff like this. Chloe looks up from the pile of sugar she was carefully shaping into swirls in the centre of the table. Best friend? Her tone is light, but the look on her face makes me feel like I didn't say quite the right thing. My first mate, my partner in crime, the girl I buy breakfast for. Chloe's face breaks out into a wide grin, cheeks pink. In that case, can I order another... No. Chloe laughs. Worth a shot. So I guess we better get started on this thing. The rules say you need to take your photos somewhere in Arcadia Bay. Do you know where you want to go? Do I know where I want to go? We'll leave it up to Chloe. Right. Chloe had pulled the beanie off her head and tugged it down over my eyes as soon as we got into the truck. I had wanted to pull it off, but she levied the vague threat of swift retribution against me. I'm going to stop there. I might do another video continuing this, because we want to get into some hot Life is Strange dating action, don't we? Where this has all been set up so far. I guess it's been, what, 40 minutes or so? Yeah, but this is Love is Strange. You can download it for free from it's like suspicious, but with a U instead of the first I. .tumblr.com. So SUSPUCIOUS. Yeah. I might come back to this. And if you haven't played Life is Strange, really do. It was one of my favourite games last year. It's kind of in the top 5. But if you do buy it, and you play through the first episode and don't like it, play the others, because the first episode is the worst. Anyway, thank you for watching. We might return for some hot dating action another time.